Hello everyone, good afternoon. I am Athar Tiwari and welcome to Web Development Workshop with Zujo. So we'll start in just 3 minutes, that is on 5:10. I think we can start now. So I welcome you all to this workshop of web development. So let's start with it. So let me first introduce myself. I am Athar Tiwari, founder and CEO of Easy Mazdoor, alumni of Gurugram Police Cyber Internship 2021. I am also Microsoft Student Ambassador for my campus. I am also intern with Crime Free Bharat this session and also intern with Zujo for this internship. So I thank Zujo to give me this opportunity. So let's move ahead. So this will be our learning track for the next 5 days. So firstly, we will do HTML, that is day one. Then day two, that is CSS. After that, Bootstraps, PHP, and MySQL on day fourth. And on day fifth, I will give you just a brief about security with your website and hosting, both on paid server as well as on free servers. So it will be extra. So let's start with today. So this is an interactive session. So if you want to give any suggestions or anything, any doubts, you can just turn on your mic and speak. So let's start with HTML. So basically, HTML is hypertext markup language, basically used for web development, and all the website on the internet at present are because of HTML, CSS. Basically, HTML gives a basic framework to a website, and CSS, because of the use of CSS, the designing quality of website improves. So in today's session, we will cover these topics, which are link which are links. We will cover link in how hyperlinks, different type of hyperlinks, active links, uh, absolute links, relative links. Then we will cover images, how to add images, different type of images, background image, and all. Then we will learn about attributes in HTML. What are attributes? How many type of attributes are there, and how to use the attributes. After that, we will learn list, that ordered list, unordered list, description list, and we will learn about this type of list. Then table, then connections. Basically, connections belongs to that header part in which how to connect Java files, how to connect CSS files, how to connect PHP files to that to a particular HTML file. So we will also read about this, and then we will learn about some comments, how to add comments on a HTML page, and then finally we will learn about forms, different type of forms, how to create different forms. So these are the brief topics which we will dive in. And so for that, I have not prepared any PPTs. We will do all by our practical and all by coding at now present only. So before going ahead, please read this diagram, as this is very important to learn a normal website. So here you can see a bigger box. In this box contain all the elements of an HTML page. So basically, here the main tag is HTML, which contain all the head, title, body. So where in HTML, the main tag is HTML, and in which contain all that head tag, title tag, and body tag. So let's talk about head tag. Basically, head tag contain all the files which are going to be connected with that particular page, like CSS file. If we have to design our web page according to our needs, so we have to connect our CSS file to it. And if we go with inline CSS, or if we go with inline styling, or inline styling, or the same page styling, then it will be very difficult, and the code will be very lengthy. To reduce this, we just create an external CSS file for that, and we will uh, connect that file in this header part. After that, we have title part. So title, basically title are the that uh, titles on which we will see there's titles on the on the header of this websites. So this new tab is known as title of a website. So this is the title of the website. Oh, sorry, Kali. So this is the title. After that, it also contains the favicon part. It also contains that PHP file. If we have to just style a particular part or a particular attribute, then we can also use this header part as a small styling area. So we will just add that style attributes and then style our particular attribute in that. And after that, all the content of a website which has to be shown here will contain in the body part of this code. So let's start with it. So firstly, we will create our HTML file. So for that, my favorite editor is Visual Code. So you can Visual Studio Code, and you can use your editor for that. So I have created an folder on desktop in the name of website. So just save your file, as this is the index file, that is the main file of a website. So we will save it with index.html, as most of the web servers read the first file as an index file. So we'll save this file on the name of index.html. So now our file has been saved with index.html. Now we will start our first code. That is, we will define what type of document is this. So for that, we will type doctype.html as to define that this document is belong to HTML family. Then we will start our first tag, that is HTML. As according to our diagram, the first tag will always be HTML, that contain all the tags and all the attributes inside it. After that, we have head part, head tag. In head tag, we will link all the files, all the styling part in a head tag, and then we will have title part, title. So the title which we type here would be on the head of a Chrome tab. So this is the title part. So we will place some funky name here. So let's have my first website. My first website. So okay. If you have any kind of doubts, then you can unmute yourself and ask in the middle of session. Okay. So here is our title ready. After that, head is closed, as HTML works on first come and first go algorithm. So if we open this title, so we have to have closed this title before we have closed head part. So remember this. Now we will move on to body part. So this is the most important part of website, because this contain all the data which has to be shown on the main page of a website. So you have to design it accordingly to the needs. So in body, we will just type good afternoon. Good afternoon. Okay. So now we will open our file. So here is our file, and yeah. So this is our file. As we have written my first website as a title, so it has been shown here as the heading of this tab. And in body tag, we have written good afternoon. So a normal good afternoon has been printed on the page. So this is the normal very basic thing on a HTML on HTML file. So now we will discuss about the first thing as we have discussed, as these are links. So now we will first style our text. So to style our text, there are various things to style a text that are we can bold, we can italic our text, we can increase the font, we can change font families. For font family, you can also use different fonts. Like you can go to Google Fonts part, and on Google Font, you can choose your favorite font, and then I suppose I like this font, and then just go to suppose select this, right? Okay. So copy this and paste the font family on CSS rule. As we have not studied CSS yet, so I will not go deep into this. Okay. So now we have written good afternoon. So let's copy this and paste it here. So okay. So firstly, let this good afternoon be bold. So for bold, B is the attribute for bold good afternoon. Sorry, for to make a text bold. So now that this good afternoon has become bold. For italic, I, and for underline, U. These are some basic commands. Yeah. So now this text is bold as well as italic. And for underline, you can use U. So these are some very really basic commands. And always remember to close the tag as how you have opened it. Okay. So now let's make this as a heading. So in HTML we have six headings, that is H1 to H6, and H1 is the biggest heading we have, and H6 is the smallest heading. Control V. Okay. So now this is the biggest heading in HTML, and for smallest heading, we'll just copy this and paste this. Okay. Now H2. Oh, sorry, H3. So these are the headings, and we will save it and here. So these are the headings. H1 will be of I think around for 25 pixels, then reducing, then reduce, then reduce, and then reduce. So this is the normal basic headings on HTML. After that, for headings, we can also underline the heading. So for that, just place U tag, that is underline tag, and here. So this smallest heading has been underlined. To underline all the headings, we can just add this tag on whole, Control X and then Control V. Yes. So now all the headings have been underlined. Okay. So these are the text formatting features. If suppose we have to write a chemical formula for that, like H2O, H2O. So if we write H2O, then it will look like this. But as 2 has to go on H, as there will be two molecules of hydrogen, for that we can use subscript and superscript. So as superscript is we can learn superscript as a superman, so we can add sup, that means super. In super we can add 2, and then at the end of that o. So now it will go to. And likewise, if we are dealing with mathematics, so x1 and x2, as we all have know, as we all know what is x1 and x2 in mathematics. So if we have to write x1 plus x2 equals to x3. To write this, if we have written this, it oh sorry, we have to write a line breaker. Okay, so now it will come down. Okay, so now we will add one more line breaker for a clear vision. Okay, so as this one goes down below that x, for that we will use subscript. As we have all the notice that super means up and sub means down. So we will add sub. Okay, and then subscript, again subscript, and in that sum, and then again subscript. So now have a look. All these have come down. So you can use this sub and superscript for that. It's really good feature of this. Okay, so now we have done our text formatting thing. So now we will move on to links. So basically links are used for hyperlink purpose. Basically there are two type of links, which is one is absolute link and one is relative link. So in absolute links are the links which hyperlink on the same website. That means if you are on an index page, then you have, if you have to go to contact us page, then you can use this absolute link. So if but on the other hand, if you have to go to a different website, let's say if you are on a if you are on my website, suppose it is domain.com, something domain.com, and you have to go to domain2.com. So on domain.com you have written click me to go to domain 2. So that type of links are known as relative links. So let's have an example. So I am giving you example of firstly I will give you example of absolute link. So for absolute link, we will use an attribute for that. So a close, then href. This is for hyperlink purpose. Then we have to write the uh, as this is absolute. So we have write the page name. So as don't have any page currently, so we will write a dummy page name. Let's say call dot html, call.html, and if you click on call me on this page, then this will redirect to the page call.html. So let's see. Yeah, now this hyperlink has appeared here. So these are line breakers br. So this hyperlink has appeared here, call me. If you click on this, as we don't have any page named call me, so it will not direct to anywhere. But if you have a page, like let's have a relative hyperlink. For relative hyperlink, let's have a href, sorry href, and let's redirect this to zujo zujo.co. So let's have control c and then control v. Okay, so now click me to go to zujo. Click me to go to zujo. Done. Great. So now, if now someone click at, uh, wait a second, I have to put some line breakers there. Okay. So if someone click me to go to Zujo, then this the redirects to a page. So this is absolute, that above one, and this is relative. So let's have an example. If someone wants to go to Zujo page, but also he don't want to leave this page. So for that, we have a very unique feature called target. So if we put here target feature underscore, blank. So now if someone click on this link, this website will open on a new tab. So he has not he don't want he don't need to leave this page. So this is a target feature which will help to increase the user experience on your website. Okay, so now we have covered this link part, and after that link part, we will go to now image part. Okay, so let's image part. Now let's create a paragraph. So this is a paragraph tag. If you are writing some long paragraph on a website, let's have something from Wikipedia, HTML. Okay. Okay. So here is HTML, and let's go to Wikipedia and copy some text here and paste this text here. So here is now a text. So this is a paragraph tag. It act like a paragraph. So this is a really good feature uh, of HTML for this paragraph tag. Control S, and then we can also divide these paragraphs. So this is paragraph tag in HTML. And now after that paragraph tag, let's now work with some images. Let's state line breakers, h1 heading, and images. Let's have some imagery. Okay, so now we will add some images on this page. For that, to add images, we have to have an image. So I have already downloaded an image in a folder called img. So if you are working with some big websites, so you need to be categorized, as all the image should go only in image folder. All the JavaScript files should always go in the JavaScript folder, sorry, CSS folder, or as JavaScript. So JavaScript folder is all the styling files should go in CSS folder, and all the PHP files which are connected to forms should go in PHP folder. So your workload should be minimal. And now we have to add our image, so for images I have my folder. Now there is a predefined tag imgsrc, and which in which we will add our images, that is img and then mountain. So now we can see here mountain image. Yeah, so here is our mountain image. As this image is not that much looking good, as we have to scroll left and right to view all the mountains in this image. For that, we will just simply add width 50 pixel and height 50 pixel. Okay, so now, yeah, so now this image is really small. So let's 100 pixel, let's say 100 pixels, and for that we will 150. It's really small. 500 pixel and this 600 pixel, 650 pixels. Okay. So now as you can see, we have inserted our image, on this page, but the quality of this image is really bad. So to improve this, we can use we can use percentage on the place of pixel. So just add 50% or percentage according to you, and 50%, and save it. So now this image will look much better as compared to we use pixels. And because of this, the image all automatically resize it according to the orientation of the page. So now your image is done here, and one more thing, we have to make sure if some error occurs on loading this image. So for that we will add alt, that means alternative text. So if some error occurs, or the by something this image got deleted from this place, so some text should appear here. So we will write some image here. So okay, so now let me show you an example. If in this image folder, this is mountain. So let me cut it from here and then paste it here. But in our HTML file, the file location is image and folder. So HTML will go in image folder and then search for mountain.jpg. If it is not able to search the image there, then it will show some image here, as we have written the alternate text part, some image here. So it will help if some error occur. So let me again do it, control. Yeah. So now the text is not showing anywhere. Okay. So now we will move on to after that image came attributes, and we have already discussed the attribute part. So now we will move on to list part. So for list, list, okay, h1, as HTML is not case sensitive, so you can use all type of alphabets in this. So we will have a list. Okay, so now there are three type of list basically, that are ordered list, unordered list, and description list. So we will discuss each and every list. So firstly we will have UL, that is unordered list. So UL, to start UL we will add UL tag, then in that LI, that means list items. So let's have let's this list belongs to books. So if this list belongs to books, then Hindi book, mathematics, that is LI, mathematics book, and English book. Now you can see this unordered list here. So by default, unordered list use this disk. It is a default feature of HTML. To over If suppose we have to add some if we have to add some squares or any circle, so for that we just use a style tag on UL part. For that, style and list style, suppose circle. So control S, then now this disk has been changed to a circle. So let's change this to square. Now this has been changed to square. So these are the three different types of list type you can use, list style. And now let's have ordered list, OL. Like we have defined UL, we will define ordered list, OL. So in ordered list, we have different type of styles that are numbers, Roman numbers, big and small, capital and small, and alphabets, capital and small. So these are the main ordered list styles. So let's have on default it is set to numbers. So let's say this list is also for books. We'll see Control V, and then we will just copy this and paste it here. As a list item is all same, Control S. So now by default it shows 1, 2, 3. But if we have to change this order, if we have to change this type, so we will type this type and we will go to A. If we choose A, then it will change to small a. If we choose here capital A, then we'll switch to capital A, and according to your needs you can choose between Roman numbers, uh, alphabets, Roman numbers, and normal number. So this is ordered and unordered list, and now we will have our description list. Let's suppose you have to give a description of a formula. For that you can use this description list. Let's suppose we have a formula H2O. So for giving this description, we will add description list, that is DN, and in which contain DT, that is description title. So for DT H2O, we will add a superscript SUP. Okay, and now we will have a DD, that means description data. So for that, it is water. Control S, and then let's see. Okay, so H2O and water. So as you can see, there is no this ordered and unordered list. It is just description of this formula. So this is description list. These are the major difference of between ordered, unordered, and description list. Next we have tables. Let's move on to tables. For table, I will just make H1 heading of table. Now Control S, and then here. So now we will talk about some tables and discuss how you can edit some tables, or how you can style tables. So now for table, we have to start this with TAB. We have to start this tag with table tag. So for table, just do this. And as we all know, table consists of a row and columns. So for row, we will start as this in HTML. We always follow a row first. Always give priority to rows. So for that, we will start with TR. That means table row. After that, we have two types of cells in this, that is th, that means table heading, and td, that means column data. So th, we will first go with th, which contain let's suppose s dot n serial number, then th uh, name, th price. Okay, so let's have a look on this table. As you can see, serial number, name, and price. So this will be our first row. Then for second row, tr, again tr, then th. Now we will not use th. We will go for td, that is table data. As th the font, the value we assign to th will be bold and on center line, but in td the values will not be bold and center aligned. So now for td, let's suppose first td and name apple, td table data, and price 70 per kg. Okay. So now we can see our table here. We can add more column, sorry, more rows. So here are the more rows for our table. Now let's have some borders to our table. So for border, as I have told you, you can add your style part. If you don't have your external style sheet, then you can add your style part in head part. So for that, add a head style tag. Then in style tag, as our table is already defined, table, then th, then td, then we will close it. Now border, border will be of one, let's suppose 2 pixels with black solid black border with 2 pixels. Let's have a look. Hey, so here is the border of 2 pixel with solid black. And if we have to increase the size of this column, so we will use padding. We use padding. So normally uh, we will give padding to all the four sides. For that we will use just let's see 15 pixel of padding. So it's 25, so 15 pixel of padding, and here you can see the table. So here the padding between this text and the final line will be of 25 pixels, sorry, 15 pixels. And let's suppose we have to remove these double lines. To remove this double lines, we will add border collapse and collapse. As you can see, all the double lines has been removed and only single line of table has been added. So these are some features of table, and we will read some more features of this table in our bootstrap part. Add as bootstraps, because of bootstraps we can add different styles of table. We can style our table in different ways. So bootstrap will be a good option if we have to work with tables. So now table has been finished, and connections and comments and forms. Okay. So now we will move on to forms. So for forms, I have to give the heading form. Okay. So now we will start with forms. So in HTML, to define a form, it will start as form, and this is the start and ending of a form. And we have, if we have to end a tag, then we will give a slash and then form with the same attribute, with the same tag. So here we can see our form part has appeared, and as we have not feed anything in this tags form tag, so nothing is going here. So now we will go for form. So basically, in form we have different types of input, like text, radio buttons, multiple choice buttons, drop down buttons. So you can play with all these buttons. I will just tell you about some of them, as because of time bound, I'm not able to cover all of them. So now, for now, let's have some text boxes. Suppose this is a registration form, so we will add some text box. For that, we have to have a label. Uh, F name. Okay, so first name. We will add some label. We will add a label on a input field. So here is the label, and we have also defined this label is for f name, that is first name. You have to remember this name as when we connect this form to our SQL server or SQL database, we because of this name the data will travel to the database, because only because of this name, as we have to feed this name in our PHP file also. So now label, then input. Now this is the main field on a form. So input type. In this type you can see all the types which are available. You can use as a input type for a form. So sorry, input no input text. We just have to take some text from user. So for that we will just type text. Okay. So now I have to give a ID to this text. So it should be same as for label. The ID, sorry, the for part of label. So f name. I also have to give a name. I have to also assign a name to this. So name f name. Okay. So now you can see here a text box has been appear, and you can type anything here. Let me align it accordingly, and done. So now here is a first name, and according to this only, we will add our last name text box. For that, label for for first name, now last name, that means L name, and it will be last name. Done with it. Done with it. So now L name. Now we will give a input field for that. Input. The type of input will be again text, and then we will also assign an ID for this input, which will be L name. We will assign a name to this, as this will be helpful for our PHP part. So we will assigning a name to this, and it will also be helpful for Java part, as Java we also JavaScript we use this ID part for some uh, applications of this part. Okay, so I think this is pretty good. Okay, so we will add a line breaker in this also. And now, yeah, we'll add a more line breaker. Okay, so now this is our first name part. You can type anything, Athar, and last name is Tripari, and this. So this is our first name and last name part. Now we will add a checkbox. So for checkbox, let's do a label for G. G means gender. And now we will add input type, input, and type will be checkbox, and then next to that will be name will be G, ID will be G. And now for this checkbox we will assign male, We'll copy this. Control C. We have to change this ID as we are using checkbox. So male has to be M, female has to be F, and that's it. Control S. So now the gender part is also appeared here. We will add a line breaker for it to make it done. Yeah. So now the gender part has also appeared here, and to submit this form, we will add a submit button. For submit button, input and type will be submit. Type will be submit. And here we will close this, and we also have to assign a name to this. Name submit. So here is our submit button. You can style this submit button according to your needs or according to your requirements. We will give line breakers to this. Now our form is ready. So we will just fill this. Atharv Tiwari mail and then submit. As this form will not submit this data anywhere, and to make this form submit data, we have to add an action. We have to add action to this form. So for action, we have to add an action tag on form attribute, and action tag in action tag the name of the file is contained where our code for this. So here our code for the action has been added. So it will be like suppose the name of the file will be, so suppose the name of the file will be let's suppose form.php. So all the action of this will be done with this form.php file, which will be created which we will be creating in our next I think our fourth class. So we will work with php in our fourth class to make this form work. So for today we have learned different things, like we have covered link, images, attribute, oh shit, attribute, list, table, connections. As connections are those which we add here for our external CSS and PHP files in head part, and comments. Oh, we have left our comment part. Okay, so for comments, let's suppose I am working on a project with someone else. So if I have to, if I have changed something, let's say if I change this English to social, if I change this English to social, so then the next coder should know about this. So for that, I will create a comment that I have changed English to social. So now this comment will not appear on the main page, but it will be there for the coder. So these are the comments part, and this is really important when you work with some other people or some new in a team. And if you have made some changes, then the other team members should also know about that changes. So it will help for them to have a track about what you have done. So these are the comment part, and now that's all for this session. As because of time bond, we are not stretching this session very long, as I have told you about major of this topics, which because of which we can design a good looking website. And tomorrow we will design this website to something really great, as this website is not looking as great as that as it has to look, but with the use of css we will make it a good looking website. And if you have any kind of doubts, any queries, so you can just unmute your mics and ask. Okay, so I have a question for that. Huh. Yes, we will provide certificates for attending this workshop, but use your name to attend this workshop, as your name is user hashtag something. So use your correct name to attend this workshop. We will provide you certificates. Okay, someone has unmuted. Wait a second. Accept. Yeah.
Uh, can you repeat?
Sorry.
What did you say just now about certificates and name? I I got network connection error. So can you repeat, please?
Huh. Yeah, you will. We will provide you certificates as, but join with your original username, as this is username hashtag 6862. So to maintain the uh, re- to maintain the attendance, we have to you have to log in with your usernames.
Okay.
Any other questions? If you have any kind of doubts which you are not able to ask right now, you can reach me on my different on social medias, or you can reach me out at on my website, that is athartware.live, and also on my social media, that is Twitter and Instagram. You can also search me on LinkedIn. So that's all for today, and we will continue with CSS on tomorrow, and then Bootstrap, PHP, and MySQL. Thank you.
Sir, is there any course for JavaScript?
Yeah, we have different courses of for JavaScript on our portal, that is Zujo. You can visit it. We have
Okay.
courses for JavaScript, Python, and recent courses also going on Python. Sorry, Python, React. You can visit it.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
A new message. Okay. Thank you all for joining, and now you can leave this, as I am turning off the stream.